Comedy Jonah. Go ahead, do it. Watch. Go ahead, do it. Ah, he's in my house. See, it almost looks like it. I just realized that right before the show. So let me go ahead and fix that. Hi, everybody. Hi,
Hey,
friends. Okay, I blocked you. You're no longer allowed in my box anymore.
can't get in your
Ha
box.
ha, can't do it. Get out of my box.
Oh, oh.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Big Brother 23 recap of another recap and recapping all the recaps. But we have a lot to talk about on our Big Brother show. I'm so excited.
So excited. I can't believe, and just Wednesday's the finale.
Yeah, Wednesday's our finale. I feel like I need to be live for the finale, but it's also really hard to be live for the finale while getting ready for us to go live after the finale.
Well, I will not be live because I will be getting ready in drag.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me too. So excited.
But hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, guess what?
What, buddy?
I'm cool if you don't want to do it.
Oh no, a bet's a bet.
Okay, just let you know, you don't have to for me. I don't care.
No, bet's a bet. I'm gonna do
All
it.
right.
I think what was the last bet I did with Big Brother a few years ago with the egg, and I didn't do it, or I did it. I did do it. No, I've done all my bets.
Oh my god, no, that was with Survivor. And
Oh, that was a
no,
Survivor.
you didn't do it,
Oh,
liar.
I did.
Oh, no, because I remember and I don't have a good memory. So, you said that you were going to eat a quail egg. You got a fake piece of something that you
It
shoved
wasn't
into a
fake.
hard boiled egg and
It was a
pretended like you were eating
foot.
a quail egg.
It was a foot. It was some kind of like duck egg that was not done correctly, and there was
Which
a
was
foot in it, and I was crunching on it.
which was a bet that you lost during a Survivor show, which is a
A
great time to
Survivor
let
show.
everyone know that John and I are covering Survivor this season. Our first episode is up on the YouTube, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go and do that. Lori R in chat is telling me it was the balut egg. It was supposed to be the rotten egg that you
Yeah.
ate, and you
Yes.
hard boiled an egg and put a chicken wing in it.
I ate a
Liar.
balut egg, and it was disgusting. It was
Okay.
disgusting.
Well, you know what else is disgusting? The fact that we're at the end of this season, okay, everyone?
Oh,
We're at the end of this season, and there are still some of you that have not followed, liked, and subscribed, all right? We
no.
can't be clearer. You guys following on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you guys making sure that you thumbs up, subscribe, share the shows. Those are the things that keeps these free. Do you guys like the other places that charge you for the content? Because if you want, we can do that. I feel like you guys don't take it seriously unless John and I say, okay, the exit interviews are now $5 each behind a paywall. Because all we want
Hmm.
is just a follow, like, and a subscribe. All
That's
free,
it.
3 clicks. Okay? So let's do that so we don't have to put shit behind paywalls. Okay, everybody? Because we love you. And it's been 10
Paywalls.
years. And I haven't had to do that. And I don't want to. Okay? Love you all. Follow, like, and
Mm.
subscribe, or I'm holding this show hostage. So make sure that you do that. Share the show. Tell your friends. Tell your family. And of course, if there's anything you want to share with us, you can always tweet us. Just use hashtag YRR Live. Comedy Jonah. Here's what I thought would be fun.
Alfredo. What?
Here's what I thought would be fun.
What's
I
that?
thought that, look, we all just watched the episode. They basically, recapped everything. Now,
Well, they
although
kind of
I,
recapped everything on Friday. They recapped as they were talking about their individual gameplay tonight.
well, that's what I was going to say. I liked this premise. I mean, to me, it was still a recap, but at least I liked what they did. I liked that
I
they said,
don't.
okay, each of the final 3, You get
Hmm.
to tell your story on what you think
Hmm.
you did to America, and we're gonna edit a visual package around it. I thought that was, a nice thing. Now, I was hoping it was because Kylan threw a hissy fit and act like the giant man child that he is and refused to go to jury, and America was gonna get to cast a vote instead of him, but turns out not.
Well, I agree with you. I loved this premise. I was trying to remember when it was happening. Like, do they do this every season? But they
No.
don't. So, we saw all our recaps and them sitting down for their final three dinner. I loved that recap. It brings me back. It brings good memories. I thought production could have done a better job with some of the memories. Like, they would
Yeah.
sit there and say, "Oh, and how Brittany was so sweet," and the flashback that they used wasn't that great. There were so many more other Britney moments that they could
Yeah.
have put in there. And Derek X and Claire. I thought the editing, they let us down
No,
a
they're
little bit with
phoning it
this
in.
recap.
They're phoning it in. But again, we just had the recap. Like, we don't need the recap again, and not for nothing, because we didn't do a show after Friday's recap. Because again, why are we recapping a recap?
Recapping a recap.
Uh, but that recap on Friday, they had parts from the show. Like, it wasn't even stuff we hadn't seen before. It was
Right.
literally things that were on the edited show not even
Right.
2 weeks ago.
And I would have loved it for people who don't watch the live feeds to maybe see some snapshots of the live feeds. Maybe, I don't know, production, get people more invested in the live feeds because it's like, wow, that was a great scene. I didn't see that. Oh, maybe I should tune into the live feeds. You ever think that could be a suggestive sell moment? Come on.
Okay, somebody works for McDonald's. Um, hmm.
But I'm not loving it. Okay.
Ba da ba ba ba.
Not loving it.
Not loving it. I don't understand, and I've said this every single year. If there's ever a Big Brother producer watching this show, I don't know why. I could have asked them last season. Maybe I'll just email the ones I know. Here's seriously, honest to God, my question.
Yeah.
Why is, if we're going to go with this new format of Big Brother, right, where we get the live feeds on night one? Okay, I get that's a big draw to get people to the live
Hmm.
feeds. Great.
Yeah.
Why isn't the first HOH competition an endurance comp that plays out on the live feeds week one to get the people to the live feeds week one? Why is there only one or two endurance comps at the end of the season? Every Thursday should be an endurance comp that plays out on the live feeds to get people to buy the live feeds if that's where you're making most of your money from. I don't
Or
get it.
subscribe. Yeah, subscribe to the Paramount Plus app, right? That would,
Yeah.
yeah.
It just seems really easy to get people to come to the feeds, and they don't seem to care to.
Yeah. And if they do that after this, you're welcome, CBS.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Just feel free to take all our
Just
ideas and pretend
let us
they.
know if you're hiring. Also.
Feel free to take all our ideas and use them as your own. Everyone else does.
Right.
Oh, everybody's Team Azah now all of a sudden. Oh, yeah. Notice nobody was Team Azah all season, and all of a sudden it's Queen Azah, we stan you. Oh, really? Because you weren't all season. Whatever.
Well, when we're talking about the gameplay, like, of course, Xavier was first. Everything he was saying was correct. He said he was keeping the cookout together. I saw that week
He
after
did.
week.
He did do
They
that.
were all getting fractured with each other, especially
Yep.
Derek F. and Tiffany. He was talking to people, keeping them together, keeping them in line. He didn't win comps, wasn't playing really an individual game, but a cookout game. That
Yeah.
everything he was saying was correct. Didn't want to win a bunch of comps because he didn't want to be a physical threat. Absolutely
Yeah.
did that, and he got um, Kylan to nominate, and then Tiffany got evicted. That was a huge move too. So everything he was saying was spot on. Now
I
let's get
agree.
to the other two.
Okay, but wait, I'm not. We're not done with him yet. So I agree. Overall, yes, he most of what he was saying was accurate for his game. Again, I feel he did not give. I mean, I guess he did give credit to the cookout, but I find when Xavier gives credit to the cookout, he gives it to the males of the cookout. Like, he doesn't just say solely the cookout. He'll be like, well, but Kylan this and Derek that and blah blah. He never seems to give the credit to the females of the cookout. So
Right.
that's kind of where I feel is the flaw of Xavier's recapping of his game. And then, not that it's any of my business, I don't know if anybody in the chat knows, but do we know how his brother died? Because, like, he said right before he left, he left a son. Like, I mean, again, not that it's any of our business, but I'm wondering if it was COVID. Oh, okay, it was a heart attack.
Mhm.
Okay. So it sounds
And it,
like,
yeah, and that was such a sweet moment. And,
yeah.
letting, his brother know that his nephew will be taken care of. I mean,
Well, it must have
yeah,
been then like a heart attack into a coma and then death.
right. I'm
Unless
sorry.
he's
I've
like,
got a little,
oh, my heart. And then Xavier's
I
like,
have a
I'll
little
take
bit,
care of your kid. Just go. Like, yeah, like, I don't know.
a little itch on my back. Sorry.
Wait,
Um,
you're an adult with a back scratcher? Oh, my dear Lord. Um,
it's like the
I
little
don't know.
hands on Saturday Night Live with my by myself.
Seriously. Okay. So that's kind of what I think of Xavier. I mean, I do love that. That, touched my heart a little bit.
Well, I think maybe he was kind of, to give him a little credit, and kind of even go into what Azah was saying. I think the women were maybe a little more low key, and he was talking about just kind of the dynamics really with him and Kyland,
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
cookout. Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Xavier was 100% misogynistic. There were a lot of things that he has done, a lot of things that he's said, a lot of not credit that he's giving to the women in this game, 100%. The credit that I will give to Xavier, though, is I feel like maybe, and this is me totally giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I'll give all of them the benefit of the doubt, and ask them these things and see how they are in the real world. But I have heard Xavier be open to criticism and open to, like, it's okay to say that you're wrong. It's okay to be depressed. It's okay. Like, in other words, Xavier doesn't strike me in all areas as that I gotta be a macho man. I can't show weakness. I can't show vulnerability. So I wonder if there's any aspect of he just doesn't realize how he's coming off, and if it's brought to his attention he will own it and apologize.
Oh,
That is kind
absolutely.
of my hope when it comes to Xavier. And we'll see postseason. That's really my only last point to make on him.
Absolutely. And I see Xavier owning it and apologizing, unlike Kyland, who will
Oh God.
just who is, will just be a Trumpinism and just think, nope, this is how it was, and living in this alternate reality.
That's going to be like Kylan. First question. We heard you begging the Obamas for a shout out. Now, where do you get off doing that when you're retweeting how much you love Trump and want to suck his dick?
Well, I never didn't see that, but I've seen interviews he's done, post eviction and talking, there was one, and I think I, tweeted it out, as far as the way he was talking about Tiffany just kind of made me sick, and talking about how she was just kind of out for herself and playing his game, and I'm thinking, you
Like
literally
you.
did the same thing.
Right.
And
Well, he has a
you're sitting
penis.
there bashing Tiffany in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to go after Xavier because he could, hit him.
Oh yeah. It's just a absolute. I can't believe it. When I think back at our cast assessment weeks and weeks ago, thinking like he was just such, kind of a sweet little kind of idiot. And his favorite food's popcorn and all the jokes we were making. And I just think, God, what a monster he's turned out to
What a
be.
monster. Kind of like a serial killer.
Totally. And then just to hide behind that smile, you know,
Yeah.
it's very creepy. Like I can't even look at his grayed out photo in in the show anymore.
No, I can't
Ugh.
stand him. I think you should do the Kylan interview and I'll just produce it.
Oh, I will have to have some gin and tonics ready.
I
That might not be a good idea. I might be a little too honest.
I can't. Anyway, okay, so all right, now
Right, right.
moving on to let's just do Azah next, which again, I am interested to hear how you're gonna try and critique this, because again, here's my opinion on Azah's, and I'll make it quick and give it to you. I feel like hers was the most matter of fact. It wasn't exaggerated. She didn't take credit for things she didn't do. Not that she did a ton, but she did do stuff, and she's not holding it over people's heads. She is being the most straightforward, honest, and had the most realistic grasp of what she has contributed, as opposed to the other two people.
No, and I agree with that. I think what Oz's game was smart to play under the radar, not just with the house, but with the Cookout Alliance. You know what I mean? Like she was never anybody's target. She didn't hit the block until Final Four. That's a major accomplishment. She let all of, and playing under the radar, she let all the strong Cookout players kind of go after each other. And we saw that, which was super smart. And I think she did play a pretty authentic, honest game, but that's not going to win you this game. And to be honest,
I
what got her to this point was the Cookout. If
Well, took
she
out them
was
all
doing
there.
this, it got them all there. But I think Azah would have been taken out sooner had she not had the Cookout.
I just okay. So well, two points to make the counterpoint to me and agree with you. I see Destiny says she napped and took out Hannah for the guys. Okay, so that's number one. But number two, I feel like that point has to be taken off the table of I got here, blah blah. No, you all got there because of the Cookout. Had it not been for the Cookout, Derek would never be sitting there. Had it not been for the Cookout, Xavier would have been taken out as the giant threat that he was way earlier. Had it not been for the Cookout, Azah would have ended up on the block so much. So, like, had it not been for the Cookout, I don't think any of these people would have been
Right.
there. And on that same note, that is a testament to why the Cookout was so amazing. They disregarded their personal games to make sure that there would be three of them there in the final three, and they did it. So, like, for me, if I was a non Cookout member in the jury, I would say to them, I don't care how you got to the final three, because in my opinion, you were all one unit until you got there. You played as one person. What I need to know is, why should I vote for you outside of that fact? Because you all have that. I got to give all of you made it to the final two in my mind. So now what do you want to tell me to make me vote for you? If that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense. I mean, to judge them at the final six, right? Because
Yeah.
they all got there because of the Cookout. Exactly. And no, I would probably be exactly the same way, because I don't think any of them would be in final three if it wasn't for their alliance and sticking to it. But I mean, we also saw, Azah's interview was very matter of fact. She was just like, and then
Yeah.
I did this, and then Hannah was a threat, and so I did this, like it was all planned. We saw you play an emotional game. We screamed at our TVs and went, "What are you doing?" You're sitting there going fact over past seasons that you have this fantastic memory of doing, but you're not focusing on your own game. So that's where I was like, okay, it seems really good the way you're lining it up in these bullet points, but we all know it wasn't as smooth as you're making it sound. But,
No,
again,
100%.
she's got not on the block till Final Four. She has an HOH win. And you know what? She is likable. We all loved her. We all loved her singing. We all loved her cooking,
Yeah.
especially Kyland, who said, Derek has too much of a simple
Miss Van Cougar in
on
the chat
Friday.
completely agrees with you. She says, I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%, John. But I still, so yeah, I mean, we are agreeing when it comes to Azah. She was the most realistic about her game, the most non confrontational.
Yeah.
Now, as opposed to whatever we want to call that Derek edit, because it it ties into the Azah edit in the fact that it makes me feel bad. It is such a blatant example of editing 1000% changing what actually happened. And it
Hmm.
makes me cringe for both of them. I feel like it makes Derek look fake and inauthentic. And I feel like it's embarrassing to Azah, specifically the fact that he's standing there and being like, I'm taking you because you're my best friend. I'm never letting a man come between you and me, bestie. We're best friends. When we all know 5 minutes before that conversation with Azah, he was trashing her up in the HOH room to Xavier, saying he didn't want to go with her, he doesn't trust her, she's going to win. And it was Xavier who said, no, you are going to go down there, you are going to make up with her, and you are going to keep her. We need her. So that whole thing was just a load of shit. And I'm not saying I don't believe Derek doesn't care about Azah.
Right.
Obviously, he cares about Azah. But it's
Yes.
this fake, you're my bestie bullshit that I can't fucking stand because
in
it's
his
not true.
in his gameplay edit tonight, right? Which is what
Correct. Correct.
which is what you're saying, and
Right.
I absolutely agree. You know, I don't know. We didn't get a whole lot out of it. He said he wasn't going to be a comp beast. He said he really tried to play a social game, surround himself with allies. Well, isn't that what everybody's doing? I really wished he would have said, I thought of the cookout. It was my idea, which I didn't hear that being said. Was
I'm
that
sure
said?
he said it 900 times, but clearly production removed that because they want to let Tiffany have. That's the one thing production
Yeah.
wants to let Tiffany get credit for.
I do like the one thing he said that, playing such a social game, he was always good with the HOH. That's pretty true. And I think that's something in itself as well.
Look, I have no problem with the social game.
No.
In my opinion, a social game is a harder game to play than a physical game. Now, I know people are going to be like, that's ridiculous, but it is easy to go out and win a competition when you don't have to rely on hours of conversation, hours on days, on weeks, on months of just non-stop talking. You can just go out, win a comp, I'm a comp beast, I'm saved, don't have to talk to you, don't care. So think a social game is a harder Big Brother game. And I wouldn't even hate Derek if he was like, okay, and I had to rely on my social game. I think everyone's frustration when it comes to Derek is all of a sudden he's trying to take credit for these things that he didn't do. Like if he just said, I had a good social game, I made people like me, it kept me safe, that and the cookout, I don't think anybody would have that big of a problem. It's that he's making up these stories about,
Right.
this was my final two and we kept you off the block and it's because I made this move that you didn't. No. No.
You
Didn't
didn't.
happen. You
Nope.
didn't. It didn't happen.
But we love you and we want to hang out with you, and
I and he yeah.
you could be my wingman because I would have so much fun. But
Don't
no, what you're saying,
don't you agree?
gameplay? No.
Right. Don't you agree? Like, so many people I see on Twitter are all like, we're so afraid to have like, somebody needs to call out Derek. Like, nobody's gonna call out Derek both season on his stuff. I'm like, oh no, we will. And maybe I'm just delusional that I think that because we're gays, we can do it to him in a fun and funny way. But I have no
Yeah.
problem calling him out on his stuff. Like, even tonight, the other thing that like triggered me that he said when he was like, and then there was the moment where, I was concerned about the cookout, but I reined it back in. No, you didn't. You were full out. Azah convinced you not to leave the cookout. If it was
Exactly.
not for Azah, you would have walked after your fight with Tiffany. But again, his DR and the edit makes it seem like, whew, I had a moment of crisis and I reeled myself back in. No, Azah talked you off a ledge for 3 hours in the backyard.
Yeah.
So, when it's things like that, it's what makes me feel Oz's social game is better than Derek's. Oz's social game was
It
able
is.
to manipulate Derek's social game in that moment, proving she has a better social game.
Her social game was so much better. I mean,
Yeah.
she had to bring Derek back in to keep the cookout together, But I just think, when I looked at these gameplay edits, is what I call them, you
Mm.
know, as soon as it went to Azah and then to Derek, it's like, no, this isn't how it happened. You weren't this calm and cool. You weren't this confident. Xavier's is probably the most accurate.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, yes, Xavier's is the most accurate, but it has a little bit of his slant on it. I feel like Oz's is the most honest, without really a slant on it, in any direction. And I feel like Derek's is
Mm.
just
Oh yeah.
cuckoo
We've got
crazy.
we have Jermaine King in our YouTube chat that says, I'm loving Big D's lies. It's going to make the jury questions even more entertaining. And I could not agree more. I'm so excited.
I I honestly stand by the fact that I think Derek will be like, fuck you. Like, I think the jury's gonna
That's
just
what
be
I
like, you be the jury and I'll be Derek. Ask me anything. Go
mean.
ahead.
Derek,
Yes.
what was the most strategic thing you did in this game?
And I'm sorry, who am I talking to again?
I'm the first. Who was the first person that was voted out? I
Brittany.
forgot his. I'm Brittany.
Brittany, girl. You know what I did, girl. You know what I did. Me and you, we did it together. All right? So what you voting for me is you voting for you, and I love you, girl. Thank
I love
you.
you
Okay.
too. You got my vote.
Okay, bye. Anybody else
Bye.
have any questions?
This is Azah. No, I'm kidding.
No.
This is
No.
Azah.
I just think if anybody challenges him at all, he'll literally just be like, fuck you, I don't need your vote. He'll be like, I don't care, I
Okay.
don't need your vote. Fuck off.
Okay. This is Tiffany.
Yeah, oh hey girl.
Hey,
We're not the
Derek.
same. Fuck you, I don't care about your questions. Sit your ass down. I voted you as the second most popular person in my people rankings for the season.
Okay. This is Hannah. Hi,
Hi.
it's Hannah. How
Hi.
come you
Yeah.
got so excited
Right.
when you were put on the block next to me?
Okay. Here's what I'm going to need you to do, okay? I'm going to need you to just turn around because Tiffany did just walk away from the podium. I'm going to need you to grab onto her coattails and sit your ass down because it's what you're used to doing. Bye-bye.
Derek, you don't
Oh,
have my vote,
excuse
Derek.
me. Did Tiffany tell you to say that? Bye-bye. Sit
Oh,
down. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. Have fun playing Tiffany's game. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
so
That'll literally be Derek. That'll literally be Derek. I don't care. Bye-bye. I don't think he has the wherewithal to understand how much he needs to get these jury members on his side. I really think he will answer questions in a very flippant manner to everyone except like a Brittany, maybe to a Alyssa, and maybe to an
yeah.
Azah. I think everyone else he's going to just give like flippant answers to. But I have a question for you. I actually got this the other day and they said they I forget who it was from. They said they wanted us to discuss this on the show. Out of the 3 people left, and clearly John and I, as white men, are the best people to answer this question. But still, they asked us, out of the 3 people left, who do we feel is the best representative to um, win and be the best representative of the season of the cookout? So, who of these 3 people would be a great representative for the cookout and a great winner? Would you like me to go
That's
first?
yeah, because that's a tough question.
It is a very tough question, and again, I don't know that I'm qualified to answer it, but I will say this is my perspective on it, my comedic recap perspective on it. One, I think Derek is basically Frankie Grande. So he is basically, my dad is famous and I'm here being crazy. So I don't know that that is exactly what we saw from the cookout all season. Um, I hate to say it, uh, but when it comes to Xavier, uh, I feel like he was misogynistic at times. Yes, he held the cookout together, but he didn't value the women in the way that I think that they should have been valued. I hear a lot of people also, and I have said it too, being like, and he's a lawyer, he doesn't need the money. And then I have people say to me,
He could be a
that's
pro bono lawyer. We don't know what do we know what kind of lawyer he is?
it's also like saying, and I think, oh, maybe it was even Xavier who said this, like, why is that shocking? Like, a person of color can't be smart and a lawyer. So like I see that side of it too, but for me when it comes to Xavier, I will just say the way he treated the women at times for me is not someone that I think represents what the cookout was all about. So then it goes defaults to me for Azah, who
Of
was
course.
honest, refused to lie, and as we saw, her parents are immigrants. She came here from another country. She is like the American dream and played this game with honor and integrity that I always say I don't think is possible for you to do, but she did it.
Because
Eh,
of the Cookout Alliance.
yeah, but like I said, that is a wash for me because all of them can say that.
Right,
So,
but I'm saying we've seen other players do that too
sure,
and not make it very far. We've
sure.
also seen white men win, and none of us have ever said, well, do they really deserve the win? They're a little misogynistic. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
hate the fact that,
We've put
we've
that on
got these
Xavier.
traits in other white past winners, white men, white past winners, but now we're focusing on, oh, Xavier, look at how nuts and crazy Kyland is. But then Xavier, has done great. He kept
No,
the
he
cookout
has.
together. Yeah, he's winning the
Eh,
comps that he needs to win. He's going to most likely win part two and then pick the person next to him. But I agree with you. That's where I'm torn. My game person's like, Xavier gets it. Like, that's my gameplay. as far as who's a great representative, of course, Azah. I mean, even though Azah's game was very different, she did stay under the radar. She didn't hit the block till fourth place. She won a comp, an HOH, so and had a great social game and a fun time doing it. She was everybody's best friend. She's my best friend. So
Is she?
yeah,
Step off. Okay, so two things. A, he's a corporate lawyer. And B, I
oh
know
yeah,
what you meant. I know what you meant. You meant part three, because
for
we
part
know
three,
who
yeah.
won part two. We'll save it for the end in case
Okay, I don't know.
somebody. Oh, you don't know? Okay, so we'll
I
save it
don't
for
know.
the end in case people don't want that spoiler for some
Yeah.
reason. Um, but yeah, he's a corporate lawyer. And again, the only thing I will say is I'm gonna, I'm not, I'm still voting. Tiffany gets all my votes for America's Favorite Player.
Yes,
I
mine
still
too.
think Tiffany's the most deserving, and I said all the things that I said, and I meant it. But I'm going to hope that when Xavier comes out, he is going to be like, oh God, I didn't realize the things I did and said were misogynistic. I apologize. Obviously, I give credit to Tiffany. Or he'll just be like, look, I had to have a wall up in that house. Not for nothing, none of these people are my friends, and I didn't really want to give any of them credit for anything. Because really, we say he doesn't give credit to the females. I don't really know that he was on the flip side giving credit to the men. He was just leading Derek on because he knows he can beat him and needs him to
Right.
stay. And same thing with Kylan. So I don't know that it's like he was necessarily treating the women worse than the men. I just think he was kind of treating them all the same, but he
But not
wasn't
giving
not
credit where credit
explaining it
was due.
correctly.
But not giving
Yes.
credit where credit was due type of
Right.
thing to
Right,
the
right,
women.
right, right, right. To the
Yes.
women. Yes. So
It
whatever.
definitely wasn't a Kylan situation. I'm just so glad Kylan got evicted. I'm just so happy that he does not have a chance to win any money.
Do you know how many Big Brother people Big Brother players slid into my DMs and were like, somebody sent us your rant about Kyland, and I've never heard you talk like that. And I was like, I'm not under contract this year. I can say what I want. I probably would have said it about you too. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
is great. It was great.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So now are we allowed to talk about this super de-duper phallic part one of the HOH?
Of course.
If there was ever this is supposed to be people riding penises, right?
Big pink, blue, green penises.
That's totally what it was.
Or yeah. Yeah. Orange, green, and pink. Yeah.
That one side shot of like Derek like holding on. And now here's the other thing that I have to say, because people have really, my favorite part was when the sharks came out and Derek did his and Derek did his like crazy scream. That was like my favorite part of it. However, in Derek's defense, there really is a difference here between him and everybody else. Like, look at how Azah and Xavier's feet basically reach and they can stabilize them on that bottom fin.
Yes.
Derek's feet are just dangling. Like, he has no length of his arms. They did not, my point is, they did not want Derek to win this. This is a great example. Like, we know that Derek all season has been complaining and, oh, that wasn't fair. he really had no chance if you looked at this one.
I think Derek did really good for hanging on for 19 minutes.
He
I
did
was I was
because
really proud of him. Balls and starfish and everything's flying at his face as he's holding on to this big penis, which he's obviously good at. So when you're
yeah,
properly motivated, you can do anything. But yeah, no, he stayed on it long enough. But the way he kept trying to get up a little bit, I was like, stay down, because we saw Azah. Azah didn't move, but Azah's got these long arms. She's got long legs. She just sat there, didn't move. She was just frozen. Where Derek was just kind of moving a little too much, and I was just like, oh no. And then of course he fell, but I think he did so good. I was very proud of Big D with that one.
Lost in King Cruz said like he's never had a chocolate starfish in his face before.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely proud of him. I just, I do see a lot of people giving him shit for that and how much he was complaining. And while I think it's Big Brother, expect the unexpected, there's going to be comps that
Yeah.
favor everybody differently. I would be frustrated too if when I made it to the final three, the competition did not seem equally balanced to all of us. Like, it was just very clear looking at that he did not have the same option or the opportunity to remain on that as everyone else. Now,
Like it
maybe
should have been
his should have been smaller.
a more friendly body shaped competition is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
don't because I hate to say this because I know Derek I I want to believe that Derek is saying it for the right reasons when he says it. But I do kind of agree with him. I think there are he was saying after he lost this and quite frankly part 2 um that he's frustrated because he wants plus size people or bigger people to watch him and feel we have a chance on this show. We can do these competitions. And he's like, I couldn't. It wasn't fair. And he also let slip about the BB comics. Remember when we heard the rumblings that there was like a beam and we didn't understand how the beam was involved in BB comics
Right.
for
Yeah.
him instead? So he let slip on the feeds that I heard, and I can't believe more people weren't talking about it. Um, he apparently broke the thing.
The thing
Like,
you hang from.
or not broke, but he couldn't hang on. Maybe he didn't break it, but he couldn't hang on it anymore for whatever reason. He couldn't do the zip lining part because whether it broke, he couldn't hold on, whatever it was, he couldn't do it. So that kind of slipped. So my point is, I do think that sucks. I do think there probably are people that watch this show and think I wouldn't be able to be on it for that reason.
Well, see, Farland in the chat room says I'd like to see John and Eric ride those things.
It is a weekend night. Come on over.
Thanks, Mom. Um,
It's my one time a week.
always on it's fun on Sunday. Also, to
Lord's
Jermaine
Day.
King, yeah, Jermaine King in the chat says, "I am tipping to say Jonah is right. X is a choir boy compared to every past BB winner or female or past BB male or female winner."
I
I agree with
agree.
that.
He
Yeah.
has handled himself, amazingly. I agree. And again, it was a question that we were asked, and it's our job to split hairs and critique these people. It's not like we're just ripping them apart for funsies because we're bored.
Right.
It is the show, and it was the question. And I like all of them. Except Kylan. I really wanted to say die in a ditch, but I know that that would be
No, we don't
horrible.
wish death. We don't wish death
We
here
don't
at
wish
Yo
death on
Valley Cast.
anyone. Well, no, I meant it as a joke, but I thought that I
Of
know that it would be
course.
taken that way. Go
You know,
ahead.
and then we were watching Azah kind of hanging on. Now it just seemed like Azah was on it so much longer than Derek. You know, I was kind of rooting for her, and then when her time was up, she was just hung on it for 7 more minutes than Derek.
Yeah, Derek was out first, and then she was out. She was out, right, like you said, 7 minutes later, and then of course,
Yeah,
X ends up winning.
yeah, and just to
And
kind of yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no. I was just going to say, and then my favorite moment after Xavier wins is kiss my ass, Kyland.
Loved it.
Loved it. Okay, so what were you gonna say?
No, so um, Dr. Dave Allen, David Thielen, in the chat says, why weren't you, not personally me or they, I'm assuming, that empathetic towards JC? So we're talking about body shapes, how these comps are, how a plus person could go great. I can be on Big Brother, but then what? I have to have a social game because these competitions aren't designed for my shape of body
John,
or maybe my height. What?
um, don't tell anybody, but I said one of my fantasies were to have a shirtless JC crawl all over my body and swing around me like a little, like a chimpanzee. So I was all about his height difference. What I was saying, I thought it was hot.
Well, I think that's a much easier competition to
Yeah.
do
Okay,
than
so I just saying I cared about him is what I'm saying. Sexually. I wouldn't have hated being that minion. People know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so I think, but I'm saying you've got a really good point here. You've got people who with different sizes, different shapes. These competitions we saw this season, the physical ones weren't really designed for the Derricks, and you know what
And
I mean? Yeah,
and I don't think that everyone needs to be. Like, PS, by the way, I don't think every competition needs to be this is fair and always for everyone. Because it's life and nothing is going to be fair in all ways for everyone. I'm just saying, when it comes to the final three, then yeah, maybe those competitions you could figure out a way to make them fair. Like, even if it was just shrinking Derek's down a little bit so that he could get, as much reach around it as the other people had the ability to get. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, just figure out a way to make just those because they're kind of the final three.
Oh, absolutely. But
But
also
yeah.
too, a plus size person made it to final three. So
Right, you did it. So
yeah,
congratulations. That is a
it's
great,
yeah,
story.
such a
Had
great story. It's so great.
had
I love it.
had Kyle
It's good. So,
had Kylan made it there, a person with a plus size ego would have made it there too.
well, I'm just
Um,
glad the serial killers were evicted.
Loss says Eric just wants production to give Big D a reach around. A little tug and tickle. BB Australia, Robin says BB Australia tailors certain comps to each person's height and weight. Apparently, so does the challenge. Apparently, the challenge will put counterweights and will do stuff like that to balance it, against people's stuff. But, you know, then there's the fact too, like, endurance wise, let's look back to Nicole, Holly, and Jackson. that their final three was that big Indiana Jones physical running over the things, lifting, carrying. You can take one look at that and go, Nicole's coming in last. Like,
Right.
she's not a big, strong Jackson. She's not this tall, athletic Holly. Nicole's not going to do well in this comp. Surprise, she didn't. So, so
But
it's not like it's new to this season.
why can't it be more like the challenge or BB
Right,
Australia? You know what I mean? Like it needs I mean, yeah, life isn't fair, but we already know that. Our lives are full of it already. Now we're just competing on a show. Why can't the competitions be more equal to our size and
right,
weight and height?
right, right. I agree. If we're going to,
Yeah.
try and not as we should make it more inclusive across the board, then make it more inclusive across the board in all the areas.
Now,
Make competitions fairer for everyone.
if Derek's if his crayon was maybe a little skinnier, would that have
That
made
is
it?
literally what I said 3 minutes ago, and you're
Oh,
scaring
did
me
you?
again.
Sorry, I just am doing it in my head.
I,
Yeah.
I, I again am telling you, there is only so many Alzheimer's patients I can handle in my life at one time. Okay? Because I'm losing it.
Who are you? What am I doing? What
You,
am I
you
doing?
did on the last show too. I was like, hey, John, boy, my water tastes delicious. Puts water bottle down. John's next sentence. Eric, are you thirsty? Do you want some water? Yeah, just drank water, John. Now I'm like explain the whole thing about it being smaller so that he could have a reach around. Lost made a joke about it, and you're like, what if they made it smaller so he could hold on better? Yes, we did just talk about that.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Let me get back in the show and not
get
stop tuning
back
you
in the
out.
show,
Okay,
John.
and stop tuning you out. Okay, perfect.
Great. Oh, I thought you had something to add. No, I mean, that was kind of the end of the episode. It had
Yeah.
such the weird ending to it. Like, I didn't understand the
Mhm.
whole, Azah and Derek on the couch and, ooh, I hope it is a short term memory one. Oh, you forgot your microphone, girl. That's so crazy. I hope you don't forget anything else on. I'm like, what? It's a weird way to end the episode.
It was very weird.
And then, like I said, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know who won the final
Do,
HOH of the part two, you should skedoodle out of here. And before you do, of course, again, don't forget follow, liking, and subscribing, as well as sharing the shows and commenting are great ways to help support everything that we do here. Of course, commenting below, thumbs up, and hitting the bell on YouTube. Great ways to support our shows. We appreciate and love you. That being said, John, Azah won part two.
when you said that earlier, I remembered what you
Is she more
said.
of a worthy winner now in your eyes?
Well, I wonder what the competition was. Do we have those spoilers or no?
Well, let me tell you, girl, because I got the tea.
Girl, give me the tea, girl. Okay, don't get stupid on me, all right?
Okay, so we don't know what it was. Here's what we do know it was physical. Derek got his knees hurt during the competition so badly that he was crying and whining. He was acting like he was being murdered. They put water on. Now he says his skin melted. Like he
Was it
got such
fire?
bad burn on his knees that his skin
From the
melted. Now,
fire?
now, I think he probably got like a rug burn. Because let me put it to you this way: I don't know if people remember or if they watched earlier in the season. I did that to myself. I fell on my carpet thing, but it's not
Rug-
carpet in the way that you think carpet. It's like that. I don't know how to describe it. It's thick and hard. My point is,
AstroTurf?
no, it doesn't matter. It's not soft carpet, is my point. It
Why would
burned
somebody not have soft carpet?
because it's for under
Why would
my
you buy
kitchen
it?
table. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Why
My
would you buy
point
it?
is, my point is,
Why would you buy
it
it?
like burned and ripped my flesh. It was like the worst. I've never in my life had anything that bad on my knee before. Now, that being said, I also was able to bend my knee. Now, don't get me wrong. When I bent my knee, it would like rip open, like it was constantly ripping back open. And yeah, that stung for a second. And then it was over. And I was able to take a shower. This was literally Derek in the shower. Ready? Turns on the water. The water trickles out. Ready? Oh God, please don't let the water hit my leg. Oh God, please don't let. Oh my God, the water's almost like. Water's in my leg. Fuck you, Big Brother. Screaming, fuck Big Brother at the top of his lungs. Screaming that the water is burning his leg. You would have thought somebody was legitimately being murdered. I have the audio. I'm just hoping that it's not going to
I'm
cancel.
still wanting to know if you've replaced that section of carpet in your house so
Okay,
that that
I'm
doesn't
gonna
happen
just
again.
stab you in your face. Okay, ready? Can you hear? Okay, he's in the shower.
Let me lean in.
Ready?
I can't hear anything.
You don't hear it?
I just hear static. It's like those olden time TVs when you hear the static like in Poltergeist.
Really? Okay, so I guess the noise cancellation is canceling it out then. Anyway, I retweeted the clip. You can literally hear him where he's just screaming, literally going, "Oh, the water on my knees, motherfucker! Motherfucker! Fuck you, Big Brother!" Like literally having a conniption. I just retweeted it. So if anybody would like to watch that later, you can go ahead and watch it. But yeah, I'm interested to know what you think about. After you guys watch it, tweet us and let us know what you would think about it.
Absolutely. Comment below. But yeah, I mean, it's a physical comp. Azah, won. So now she's facing off with Xavier in part 3.
Yeah, and here this is the hot topic. Like we know that part 3 is questions, whether it is
Aren't they on
question.
that like pendulum thing? Yeah.
Yep. So it could be about days, or it could be how well you know the jury.
Azah
And
might
I,
win. She's got a great
I,
memory.
Azah has a good memory. Azah knows the days like this. She
Oh,
has her study board with the
I'd be
Fruit Loops.
sweating if I was Xavier. That's not good.
She has a better relationship with everyone in the jury if the questions are more about their personal relations. Even Xavier has said a few times now on the live feeds, he goes, I hope the questions are objective and not subjective, or I've
Nope.
lost.
They,
So,
this house, this cast, the way they've accepted the cookout and their exits, and they're great, and it's just a great game. Oh no, they're going to be subjective. Yeah, absolutely. Azah would be the worst person to sit next to for Xavier.
yeah, it's going to be bad. It is going to be bad. And honestly, I hope Azah wins. And Azah has flat out said, for those of you wondering, or I'll ask you since you don't know, who do you think Azah will take? She has said, if I win, the
She'll take
person that
Derek.
I will be evicting. So who will she evict if she wins?
Xavier.
Yeah, you're correct. She said she will evict
She'd be
Xavier.
stupid to sit next to Xavier, because then
Yeah.
there can be a 50-50 chance, but she can win next to Derek.
She also knows that evicting Xavier is great for her
But
resume.
but she's also nice and honest enough to know who they're sitting in the final two. They both have won something, and that is her BFF. So even though her odds are better to sit next to Derek to possibly win, should Derek win, that's their best friends. They got final two together. Two Jokers got final two. So I
Yeah.
definitely see that happening. Yeah.
I honestly love them being the final two. Don't get me wrong. I hear all of you and I agree. Xavier played the better game. Xavier is the most deserving. But I want Azah to win. Sorry. So I want her sitting next to Derek.
I will be happy with Xavier winning. No, I was kidding. If it was Derek and Azah, I'd be definitely happy
I
with
just don't
Azah.
want Derek to win. And again, I love Derek as the person. I think
I
he's hysterical, but
Yes.
I don't want. I mean, I think that.
No, exactly. No, I don't. I don't. Even if it, regardless of whether or not winning comps or not, because they're not really that fair. His social game was good, but it was sloppy, right? And
Right.
so I
I don't even
don't
think it
think
was
it
that
was.
good.
I don't think it was as tight as he says it is. I think Oz's was so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I hope Ozzy gets at least second place. Is the thing.
Yeah, and you know what saw on Friday's episode too was that third place gets nothing, and you said that you thought that they did.
Say again.
Third place will win money, so that we should all vote for Tiffany. And then we found out Friday that third place doesn't get anything. That's what Ozza said in the toast in the living room before they saw their family messages.
Hey. Why don't you just
Oracle.
ask? Why don't you just
Or
ask me this again next year? Okay. I understand what you all think that you know, okay? But again, let me just remind all of you that, there are some people that might actually have a contract in front of them. And I'm telling you, third place will get $50,000. I understand what you're being told and what you think from past
but it's not on
seasons.
the show. We don't know. We're not as
Right. Well,
important as you to
a
have
lot of things aren't
contracts with
right.
CBS. We're not that. We're fans, and
And
we
to
don't
be
know.
And to be clear, it's like a total of. It's like a you are guaranteed, allegedly, you are guaranteed at least 50 if you are in this spot, which would be third.
Well, I in the chat, Genevieve Nash says the top five all get a salaried amount.
I don't know.
Well, we're asking you. You're the one under contracts and stuff.
I don't know. I said what I said. You all can believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you that my guess would be third place will get at least $50,000.
Well, I hope that as a fan and as somebody that follows the BB Oracle, I am putting all the faith. I want everybody to enjoy the wealth of Big Brother.
Enjoy the wealth. Destiny says, we just need to ask a third place person. Gosh, if only I knew one. Um, and that was 3 years ago. So, um, yeah. Okay. So, John, I'm excited for finale.
I am excited too. I'm trying to figure out because I'm going to have to be taking notes, and my
No,
neighbor's
you
coming
don't.
over to do my
No, just focus on your drag. What do we need notes for?
my
It's
neighbor's
finale
coming
day.
over to help me with my makeup and stuff because I don't know.
Yeah,
I
what
didn't know
do
how to do makeup.
I I no. Mm-mm. You don't need to take notes. It's finale.
We have to talk. I need the notes as a co-host.
All right. If you know
It
what?
makes me feel safe and confident in my role.
All right. What if we had someone take the notes for you?
I
Oh,
can
you
do
take the
it.
notes. Look, if you want to take the notes, you take the notes.
I'm going to take the notes. I know what I need. I know what I need.
What does that mean, fold in the cheese?
I said I know what I need. Fold in the cheese. What does that mean? Is that some weird sex thing? Just gonna fold the
Sad.
cheese. Fold in the
Sad.
cheese.
Sad for someone that quotes Schitt's Creek so much. Um, okay. So, I am excited. I am excited for a finale. Now, again, reminder, obviously, Survivor is also on Wednesday. We will be doing our Survivor recap on Thursday.
Yes.
And then for the rest of the season, the Survivor recaps will take place after Survivor immediately.
Yep.
Yay!
And you
So
know what
our
I'm go ahead.
postseason interviews.
What about them?
I thought you were going to say, you know what I'm most excited about.
No, I'm excited because hanging out in YouTube with Jackie Knows
Yeah?
and Gene V and Carpe Diem and Jermaine King and C. Farlow and Christine and Zizi and Shell and where Mr. David Allen and
And you have to give a shout out to
everybody.
Jackie. You have to give a shout out to Jackie Knows because she's the
I
moderator
did.
over there for us.
I know. I did give it. Didn't I say Jackie Knows?
Yeah, but
Yes.
I'm saying moderator. You got to give her title.
Is that why her name's a different color?
Sure is.
I just thought, oh my gosh, how come I can't be blue with a little wrench behind me? Shout out to Jackie Knows as our moderator,
Uh,
Melanie,
I and I
Chris.
And I will give a special shout out to Kathy1313 over in you now, Gian Sue, Yanisa, Nicole Morales, our top 4 fans for the day over here. And yeah, I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait for postseason. I just want to talk to Tiffany and Derek and Claire and Azah and Xavier. I can't even wait to Derek. Basically, I can't wait to talk to all of them, except,
Yeah.
Kylie.
Jermaine, my shirt says New York.
Sure does.
Because I love New York.
It's weird you don't have a New
Lo-
Jersey shirt.
Why would I have a New Jersey shirt?
I agree. Why would anybody?
Uh,
Um,
I should have a Seattle since I'm in Seattle.
no, I understand people in other states wish they were in New York, and if they don't, they're lying.
I love visiting New York, but I don't. Yeah, I couldn't live in New York. It's too much for me. I'm very
Yeah,
delicate.
too much of everything you want everywhere, all at a fair price, and great. I get it.
A
Um,
fair price. Okay.
yeah. Exactly, Miss Mancuga. They're all so jealous of us. Anyway, everyone, we love all of you. We will see all of you on our next show, which for me and John together will be on Wednesday.
Be in
And for
drag.
me will be later tonight.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in drag.
John's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be in
drag it
drag.
up. Only from the waist up. I'm not doing full drag.
I need to give you the password for the reality recaps Instagram. Do you know how to do an Insta story, Grandpa? Because
I do.
you should do some little Insta stories while you're getting ready. Put them on your own
Oh,
Insta story.
yeah, no, we can work that out. And then what I'm also trying to work out is, I know that you and I kind of have our pre-technical setup before we go live on these shows, but I don't want you to see me until, we're ready. But that's impossible, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad that we're working this out now in front of everyone. So maybe
Everyone's
somebody
a
can
part of
just
it.
sit in for you. Somebody can just sit in for you, and that'll be it.
Okay. We'll
You know
work
what
it
I'm
out.
saying?
We'll do it. We'll just work it out. We'll work on
I'm
all the
not even
technical.
worried about it. You can just tell me when you're ready. You just be sitting there with your lighting, and then you can text me and be like, I'm ready, call me, and I'll just call you live.
Okay, yeah, we can do. I want to
Just so
surprise
long.
you. I want to see your face too.
Right. Just so long as you're sitting there and ready. Not like,
Yes.
you have to be ready.
Perfect.
Great. Well, you heard it all here first. John's going to be ready, and he's going to surprise me live. But the Insta Story people said they want teasers, so you can do teasers on Insta Story.
I'll just do like an eyeball.
Just do like an eyeball. I see Linda Lulu says just record yourself from the back a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Ooh, thank you, Linda Lulu. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Back rows. Would really help if you knew any gay references, just so that you know. Okay, I'm moving
No, I
on.
was
I know.
reading Dr. David Allen saying, so does that mean you're wearing nothing from the waist down? Hooray.
Do you even get that reference?
I do. I
What does it
do. I'm a
mean?
sexual
What does it
being.
mean?
I'm a
What does it
sexual
mean?
being. I do.
What does it mean?
That I won't be wearing nothing from the waist down, like I'll be naked.
No, it's a reference to how RuPaul only does drag from the waist up.
Oh,
Drag Race, have you ever watched it? Oh
I
my
love it.
god. Okay, well, again, remember everyone, they're doing a Drag Race Big Brother crossover soon.
I can't wait. I heard that. I think from you.
Yes, you did. Way to go, Mom. You're doing great today, remembering. Okay, gonna wrap up the show now, everyone. I'll be back later on for some words. Bye for now,
Words.
everybody. Bye, friends. Like, follow, subscribe, share. We love you.